Good evening, strugglers. Welcome back to my kitchen. Remember a few months ago when I said that it was just going to be a temporary thing, that I was filming all over the house and my studio would be ready soon? So today, I thought it would be nice because I know we've been saying it for a long time now, but we've been cooped up for a little bit. Things are starting to inch their way towards going back to normal, and when that does happen, I think an issue that we might run into is that some of us might not know how to act. Having not interacted with very many humans for so long, that can really take a toll on you. And I don't want to say I told you so, but I was going to say try going 1 week without try going 1 day without human interaction. I mean, I told you so. I think one of the side effects of not interacting with people for such a long amount of time is that you kind of forget your manners. You can see it online already. People are so vicious towards each other. What happened? So quickly, everybody just absolutely turned on one another. Why? Stop doing that! Fighting each other all the time aside, I think there's something much more important, and that is table manners. The other day I saw a man eating pasta with his hands. With his hands. Is that any way to behave? I don't think so. So, we need to go back in time a little bit and be reminded how we're supposed to eat when we're around other people. This first video is from the 1950s, obviously, and it was made to teach school children how to behave at lunchtime, so let's dive into this one, huh?
Just before lunch one day, a puppet show was put on at school. It was called Mr. Bungle Goes to Lunch. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, they look like they're having a whale of a time.
Mr. Bungle came to the boys' room on his way to lunch. His hands were dirty, and his hair was messy. But Mr. Bungle didn't stop to wash his hands or comb his hair.
That is such a 1950s thing, to stop and comb your hair before lunch. Bunch of 9 and 10-year-olds running around eating crayons and what have you. But be sure to comb your hair before you eat your turkey sandwich.
Instead of getting into line at the lunchroom, Mr. Bungle pushed everyone aside and went right to the front. Then, in the lunchroom, Mr. Bungle was so clumsy and impolite that he knocked over everything, and no one wanted to sit next to him.
Mr. Bungle's an absolute savage. Look at this man, just no regard for other humans. His lack of giving a shit is, frankly, a little bit inspiring.
The children knew that even though Mr. Bungle was funny to watch, he wouldn't be much fun to eat with.
Well, they didn't actually explicitly come out and tell them that, though. They just showed the kids this puppet show of an absolutely reckless man with no context whatsoever. Here's a puppet show of somebody being insane at lunch. All right, go have fun at lunch. The teacher didn't even come out and say, like, hey, by the way, don't be like Mr. Bungle.
Miss Brown said it was time for the children who ate in the cafeteria to go to lunch. She hoped there weren't any Mr. Bungles in this room.
Wouldn't want to tell them that, though.
All right, kids, go ahead. It's time to go to lunch. Go ahead, go to lunch. Oh boy, I really hope that puppet show we just showed them doesn't have a negative impact on them. I hope they don't act it out.
On his way to catch up with his friends, Phil almost walked past the boys' room. Phil didn't want to be like Mr. Bungle. Phil was surprised to see some of his friends washing their hands, too. Phil washed his hands well, with lots of soap.
Whoa. Okay, no, entirely too much soap. This is a ludicrous amount of soap. You don't need that much soap.
When he was finished, he threw the paper towel in the basket where it belonged. And then he made sure that his hair looked neat. Now, Phil and his friends were ready for lunch.
Well, except for that kid just full palmed the disgusting bathroom door handle. It's a pretty Mr. Bungle move, if you ask me.
The line moved very fast. And soon Phil was inside. He always enjoyed looking at the good food in the cafeteria. It tasted good, and was good for him, too.
Just a little school lunch propaganda for you. Oh, say, Phil sure did love looking at that delicious, nutritious food that the school cafeteria provided for him. Surely no one could deny it's a perfect meal for a growing boy.
Phil took some bread and butter, too. And he knew what else he wanted. Milk. But Alice took the last carton on the tray.
That absolute Alice would. She would take the last milk.
So he said, "May I please have some milk?"
That lunch lady looked like she'd rather be doing anything in the world than serving these rotten kids lunch. Look at that walk. Oh, she is defeated.
Yes, there was more milk. Phil remembered to say thank you when he took the carton of milk.
She's so ominous, the way she's just looming over everybody like that, not saying a word. You're scaring the kids, Mrs. Smith? Maybe crack a smile every now and then, huh?
Phil had good manners. He didn't want to be like Mr. Bungle in the lunchroom. Phil didn't want to forget his dessert. The cake looked delicious.
Holy smokes!
Bro, when I was in school, Michelle Obama took our peanut butter away. Phil's over here with half a wedding cake on his tray.
At the end of the line, the lunchroom supervisor said she had noticed how polite Phil was, and she smiled at him. She wouldn't smile at a Mr. Bungle.
She would kick his ass, frankly.
He knew his friends wouldn't like a noisy Mr. Bungle at their table. There was someone Phil liked, Freddie. He always brought his lunch from home. It looked good. Everyone liked Freddie.
Why does Freddie look so sad? Just goes to show you, man, even the popular kids have demons.
He was very polite. For example, if he had food in his mouth when someone talked to him, he always took time to chew the food with his mouth closed and swallow before he answered.
Hey, Freddie, we're all gonna play hide and seek after school. Do you wanna come? Freddie, do you wanna play hide and seek with us after school? Freddie? No.
Phil noticed how straight and tall Freddie usually sat. Freddie kept his feet on the floor, too. Phil would rather be like Freddie than like Mr. Bungle. Another polite person everyone liked was Alice.
You mean the same Alice that took the last carton of milk? Sure, everyone likes Alice. Okay, sure.
While Phil and his friends ate, a boy ran past their table.
That's a Mr. Bungle. Mr. Bungle alert. Can we get the Mr. Bungle alert going? We got a Mr. Bungle over here.
You shouldn't run in the lunchroom. Only Mr. Bungle would do that. Phil and his friends wouldn't like to have a Mr. Bungle at their table. Then lunchtime wouldn't be as much fun as it is.
And boy, do they look like they're having fun. Look at this. This is what you love to see. A table of young children just having the time of their life.
He saved his cake for last. Only a Mr. Bungle would eat his dessert before he'd finished the rest of his lunch. And Phil wasn't a Mr. Bungle.
You know what? I resent that. I resent that idea. It's all food. It's all going to the same place. Why does it matter what order you eat your food? I'm here to learn. I'm here to learn.
Everyone at the table cleaned his own place well. But look at that table. It was left very messy.
What was the guy's name again?
Phil thought a Mr. Bungle must have sat there.
Okay, they're overusing Mr. Bungle. Do I dare? Do I want to go back and count how many times they said it? I'll put it here. This is how many times they've said Mr. Bungle. It's absurd. That's way too many times. We get it, dude. All right, so that was school lunch manners, but guys, I'm not in school anymore, okay? I'm a big boy. I don't need to do my homework. I don't need to keep my locker clean. And frankly, I don't need to sign out to go to the bathroom anymore, okay? I can potty whenever I want. But let's say Jaden and I go out to a nice dinner on a little date. Ooh, cute, huh? Or we cook something at home and I want to impress her with my table manners. That's what I need to learn. Because I'm not a kid anymore, okay? I'm a big boy.
Good night, Chuck. Good night. Have a good time.
Thank you, Chuck.
Good night.
Was that his father? What a weirdly formal way to say goodbye.
Goodbye, Dad. I hope you and Mom have a great date. I love you so much.
Thank you very much, Chuck. It's been great seeing you. We'll catch you next time we're in town.
Oh, who wants to go to a supper party?
You do, Chuck.
Shit!
Huh? Who are you?
We're looking into the future, Chuck. I am the young man you are going to be in a few short years.
And you're never gonna take this sweater off.
And take it from me, when we're my age, we won't be turning down invitations.
Oh, that sounds so sad. Take it from me, kid. We hardly ever get invited to do anything anymore. Probably on account of this sweater I haven't taken off in 7 years.
Tell me, why aren't you going?
I don't know.
I do.
It's 'cause you're a pussy, kid. Okay, I'll stop.
You're worried about not doing the right thing. Your table manners.
Now you're talking like Mom and Dad.
Look, you may not care much about table manners now.
Or ever, really. It's not usually something that people stay awake at night thinking about. Pretty low on people's priority list, I would say.
Mealtime is a time for pleasure and relaxation.
Pleasure? Listen, man, I don't know what you guys are doing at dinner, but I would like an invitation.
Say you're having lunch with your boss. Say he's thinking about somebody to fill a good position that's opening up. Would you give the job to a fellow like this, or to a fellow who thinks that table manners are silly?
Kind of depends on what the job is. I see a man that grabs his steak with his fist. That is a man with confidence, okay? That's the man I want leading my team.
There's something funny here. Doesn't the butter knife belong here?
Well, the book says either place. And speaking of the book, it wouldn't hurt you to use one sometime and check up on any points that you're not sure of.
Sure, we have some books in school, but I'll have to be careful who sees me reading it.
Don't worry, you can manage that.
Books are for nerds. And we're not a nerd, okay? We're not a nerd. Look at this sweater. Do I look like a nerd? Don't let people see you reading a book because you are going to ruin my reputation, okay?
Things will be easier if you'll remember that in eating, there are 3 kinds of food: finger foods, fork foods, and spoon foods. Clean, dry foods, bread is one of them, are finger foods. But when you have something that's messy or sticky, you better use a fork.
Yeah, like a cream puff?
That's the idea.
Dude was way too excited about that sentence.
Yeah, like a cream puff?
Fork foods include meat, potatoes, vegetables, salads, and many others. There's a right way to hold a fork, and this is it. 1 mouthful of food. Put the ends of both the handles in the palms of your hands, like that.
But what about spoon foods?
Oh yes, how do you manage soup?
You simply tip the food into your mouth?
You never tip the bowl,
Oh, no.
and you dip the soup away from you. Not too much in the spoon, and you eat from the side of the spoon.
Dip it away from you? Well, you're not cutting a box open. You're not going to hurt yourself.
You mean that's all there is to table manners, just what we've talked about?
Oh no, but you already know a great deal. And you can learn still more by watching Mother and Dad and other people who have good manners. But the main thing is,
Always wear this sweater. So I learned a lot today. Well, I think I learned a lot at least. But the only way to really know for sure is to put it into practice. So I think it's time to test out my table manners. Let's get a meal together. Welcome to the Kramer's Kitchen. Okay, let's find food. Let's see what we got. Okay, oh boy. I'm seeing a lot of beer. Like way too much beer. This entire top shelf is full of beer and it's the length of my arm. That's an issue that I will probably address in my personal life. Otherwise we have some hummus, pickles, always useful. I see refried beans, I believe. What do we got down here? We got anything in the drawer? Oh yes, Jaden's dad makes these beef sticks. That's a winner. This is a meal right here, baby. Oh, and then I need something that's like soup. Except they don't have anything that's soup-like. I guess I'll just use a beer. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, very good. We're off to a good start, I think. There's 3 types of foods, okay? There's fork foods, there's spoon foods, and as we all know, there are also knife foods.
finger foods, fork foods, and spoon foods.
I mean, the refried beans are a fork food, so that'll be fine. But for my knife food, I think I'm gonna heat up one of these beef sticks and maybe put a pickle with it so I can cut it with a knife. And then for my spoon food, we're just gonna eat this with a spoon. Let's get the stuff. This is cooking, okay? This is considered cooking. I am a chef. Do I have a bottle opener? Somewhere, here's one. Soup's on. Oh yeah, gourmet. What am I doing? Okay, the soup is done. Maybe I should have ended with that. Come on out, little guy. Oops. I think that there's enough room in the microwave for both of these at the same time. Refried beans. Yum. Here we go. Time to cook you. Oh, by the way, do you guys mess with these? The little plastic covers? Lifesaver. Seriously, are you kidding me? Let's just get those bad boys cooking, huh? So while our main course is in the oven, I guess I can prepare my pickle, huh? And by prepare, I guess I just mean take it out of the jar. Let me just take a little sip of this. Oh, that's good. Oh, my hummus. Oh, crud, I forgot about this. What am I gonna do with the hummus? Maybe I just don't use this. Oh, there's a lot happening at once. Oh my God, wait. Oh no, I forgot to put the cover on it. How did I forget? Oh, it made a little bit of a mess. Don't worry, I will clean that up before Jaden gets home. Okay, I've got my refried beans, my fork food. I've got my knife food here, and then I'll also grab a pickle. Let me wash my hands first. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. It's pickle time, baby. Give it a little ding, ding, ding. Maybe I'd give it a little suck. A little suck never hurt anybody. Now all that's left to do is to eat it. But I think I'm gonna get a little dolled up.
What?
I was just waiting to be seated. The first thing that, shit. So I'll start with the fork food. We eat it like this, fork food. And here we go, not more than 1 bite's worth. Whoop. Ice cold. It's been a while, I had to put my suit on. How old is this? When did we make this?
That's just refried beans, you're good.
Oops, I forgot the most important part. And now on to the main course. I would ideally have a second fork for this, but I do not. Palms of your hands cut into the pickle, baby. There we go. Damn it. Maybe a butter knife wasn't the best choice. That is delightful, Mrs. Kramer. Well, that's a thick skin, isn't it? Oh, it's tough.
Might explode on you. Saw back and forth.
With a butter knife? I promise I don't usually struggle this much when I eat. It's the technique.
Who are we fooling?
Delicious meal, Mrs. Kramer. Oh. Delicious meal, Mrs. Kramer. And for the grand finale, the soup. Soup. Remember to scoop away from yourself and drink from the side.
What kind of soup is that?
Homemade, baby. They didn't teach me what to do with my spoon when I'm done, so I will just set it on my lap, I guess. Yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, last thing, I have to carefully dab my mouth. Awesome, good. All right, that's all you needed to do. Well, that was swell. I had a dynamite time making that video. All right, y'all, thank you so much for watching, and an extra thank you to all of my patrons. Look at these. These are the top tier guys right here. Oh, man, I hope none of you ever go bald. And if you do, you're gonna look so hot. Cool, cool, cool. Subscribe if you're not, because I got a new video coming out next week, too. Quick turnaround, I know. All right, goodbye.
So good I'd probably pay for it. I think about her every day and it shows. She could make a fella wait for it, 'cause she's got the other half of my soul. She rides like a luxury car, eyes and hair of a movie star. Whoa, whoa, never thought I'd meet a dame like this.